You're planking wrong. Let's fix it. So if your plank looks like this, then you are very likely doing a back exercise rather than an ab exercise. And most people are planking to do their abs, to activate their abs. So instead of doing that, you need to be doing this. Now you can kind of see the difference here between this and that. This one is activating our abdominals. This one is not. So in this incorrect plank, you can see that I have a nice big sway back, a nice big curvature of my spine, which that is actually activating my erector spinae, those muscles that run along your spine. They truly erect your spine up. So if you're sitting up nice and tall from the side, your spine looks like this. Nice big arch, my erectors are engaged, but if I want to contract my abs, I'm going to have to use my rectus abdominis to pull my sternum down. My pubic bone is going to come up towards my sternum, and I'm actually turning on my six-pack ab muscles. So when people say in a plank that your spine should be straight, that's not necessarily true either if you actually want to get your core completely engaged, meaning rectus abdominis engaged and transverse abdominis engaged. So rather than your spine being straight, I actually prefer to cue a slight rounding of the spine to activate your rectus abdominis, that accordion ab muscle. So in your plank right here, right now, I want you to get down, hands down underneath your shoulders or slightly wider, and then bring your feet back hip distance. Step number 1, I want you to go ahead and take your sternum, pull it down. This activates the initial rectus abdominis, the upper portion of your rectus abdominis. Sternum comes down. Now, keep that position and draw your pubic bone up slightly towards your face. This activates the lower part of your rectus. So upper part is engaged, lower part is engaged. That is your rectus abdominis working in its totality. So you might feel slightly rounded here, and that's totally fine. You will also feel that the tucking underneath of your pelvis engages your glutes. Totally fine and natural. When you activate your low abdominals, you should feel your glutes light up slightly. Now, you don't necessarily need to squeeze your cheeks to high heaven and everything's gonna shake because you're just squeezing your glutes so badly. Don't worry about that. You just wanna feel that contraction coming from your low abs, and then note that your glutes are also engaged. Cool. So now that you have fixed the spinal extension that you have, the next portion that we're going to move on to in your plank form is your back line of the body. So in the back line of your body, people, when they're planking, they have this tendency to really sink down into their shoulders, which usually contributes to the spinal extension. So instead of sinking down into your shoulders, what I want you to do is press energetically away from your mat or from your space, from the floor, and take the backside of your body, the backside of your heart up to the sky. So this is gonna protect your shoulders. So you're gonna take your shoulders, roll them back and away from the ears, and then push the back line of your body up towards the sky. So rather than looking like this, I'm gonna take my shoulders back and away from the ears, and then I'm going to very slowly press the back line of my body up towards the sky as I'm tucking underneath my pelvis as my rib cage is pulling down. Rectus is on, my shoulders are engaged, my shoulders are protected, and then I'm gonna give a slight tuck of my chin to protect my neck. So that is step number, technically it's like number 3 in your plank form. Finally, and my favorite part of plank is TVA activation, transverse abdominis. And if you haven't watched my transverse abdominis tutorial, it is worth your time. Go and watch it, learn what the TVA is, feel it out in your body. So if you are planking like our first example and you've got that spinal extension and your belly is hanging down, then very likely you are also not activating properly your deepest core muscle, your transverse abdominis. When your transverse abdominis is completely engaged, you should physically be able to see on someone a lift of their belly button in towards their spine and no bread doming whatsoever. So you shouldn't see this coning of your abdomen coming down when you plank. So you have this slight round rectus abdominis engaged. Your shoulders are back and away from the ears. The backside of your body is coming up towards the sky so you're not dumping out into your shoulders. And then finally, your TVA engages. Once you do all of these things together, I promise you, it might feel like actually a little annoying at first because you're like, this is so much harder, but that is truly how you get the most out of your plank, especially the most out of your plank form with your core. So you're here, we're gonna do all of those steps together. Feet are gonna come back, hands a little bit wider than shoulder distance, feet a little bit wider than hip. Go ahead and tuck underneath your pelvis to engage your glutes and your low abs. Sternum comes down, shoulders roll back and away from the ears. Press the back line of the body up to the sky. Now pull your belly button into your spine. Tuck your chin slightly. Do you feel that? It is so much harder, like 10 times harder. However, it gets easier over the course of time. If you have never planked properly in your life, then this is your time to start doing it now, and it will get easier, I promise you, and you will get stronger. So if you enjoyed this tutorial, if you feel like you still are having trouble understanding how to plank properly, drop me a comment, let me know how you're feeling, and if you want something else to be covered next, let me know that as well. Thanks guys, see you next time. Bye.